Green Sun? See, I would run Green Sun, but you need the Fauna Shaman. The Green Sun could work. The problem with it is it has limitations. If you put Green Sun in here, it becomes a different deck, I think. You would probably cut the Eureka part. If you wanted to run Green Sun, it would look different. It would be, you'd cut this package, and you'd try to be more toolboxy. Yeah, I mean, Green Sun is a fine turn one, but it would be a different deck. I think it would be, and then you'd run 3 more bullet targets. So your engine would be Green Sun instead of Eureka. Which could still work. I mean, if the Eureka version doesn't work, so what? We invested in a Titan. I think it still might be... like, instead of Fauna Shamans, too, probably. So then we're just like a really bad rug-colored Green Sun deck. No, we want to go big. Green Sun is more for like fair decks. We're trying to go a little unfair with the Eureka, right? Like cards like this put us in the realm of an unfair deck because yeah, our primary win con, which is Eureka into Emrakul or Worm or Primetime, is definitely considered by my standards an unfair win condition, but this part of the deck here is all very fair, so it has like fair as as a secondary win condition. What are you ramping towards? Just Prime? You're ramping towards Worm Coil and Prime. Otherwise you're ramping towards these two. Yes, so go way unfair. I think we're supposed to go unfair with this deck. That's the whole point of running Orcish. You're giving up a land to do something degenerate that turn. So we need to go pretty unfair before the deck's good, I think. You could go fair, though. You could go Green Sun, but I think we're supposed to go unfair with the deck. I honestly think this deck has way too many fair cards, says Amp. I think there has to be a better way to ramp while making the deck consistent. But Orcish Lumberjack is the fastest ramp that this color pie has access to. The squeeze here so you're not going down on cards when you fauna, because you can just keep using the squee as what you pitch. The anger is so the deck just moves faster, works faster, operates at a faster speed that it needs to operate in Legacy. Lumberjack is some of the fastest ramp you can have. Well, I think we won't know until we buy the Faunas and the Primetime. And I think now's the only day that Primetime's going to be this cheap. That's absurdly cheap. I've never seen it that cheap. I mean, like, both of these cards have recently tanked, right? If you look at Primeval Titan, the Modern Masters 2, what about Natural Order? Natural Order is cool, it's just expensive, like, and then it's, you know, it was up, and then, like, right now it's down. Right now it's on the low. The problem with Natural Order is it works better in Elves. I think Elves is just a better designated Natural Order deck. Like, you're talking a different deck. I saw a Eureka deck that's not the right card, but it is still Natural Order. It's a little more expensive than I'd like. And you would need a Progenitus. You would need Progenitus. Modern Masters Progenitus. Which, inexpensive on Moto, thankfully. We need, like, Null Rods or Chokes or something. should have Elvish Piper. Too slow. Yeah, this is for Legacy, man. No, I saw a Eureka deck that was designated Eureka. It was literally Eureka and, it was literally Natural Order Eureka.deck. And it was really cool. But that's not what we're building here. We're building a deck that has an unfair win con, but can also play the fair game. It can play value, it can play fairly, but it doesn't have to. I mean, you could argue that my vintage variant, which is the normal shell for Lumberjack. The normal shell for Lumberjack, although I did try a Strix recently. I don't know if that's right. It's probably totally wrong. The way we play it in Vintage is very different. Although Vintage is just a very different format. The way I play it here is actually more like this, where it's just trying to win with several bullets, like Trigon, Edric is a Staticaster for Young Pyromancer, Magus of the Moon, main deck, Glenalundra Archmage. But Vintage is a very different format. This just seems sort of like a more fair show and tell, says Amp. Well, ideally, the way that it's going to work is against decks that have the permission to fight over the playset of Eureka. I mean, like, I wouldn't build it if I didn't have a plan. I wouldn't brew it if I didn't have a plan. Where did we just put it? Please tell me it saved it. Jeez. Come on. Don't do this to me. Yep, it deleted it, didn't it? It probably did. I don't see it. Guess we're starting from scratch. Oh, man. Moto is a great program, guys. It's gone. I don't see it. Oh, oof. Whew. In Eureka deck, you usually have multiple unfair creatures to get full value, says Eekling. What about Ugin? I don't own one. G-Brand? Could be cool. But if I have the ability to search up Emrakul, wouldn't I just want the Emrakul? You guys think I should put a Grizzlebrand in here? No, I don't want it to be like A plus B combo. I want it to be, it can play the fair game, but if it needs to, it can go unfair. That's what I'd like this thing to be. Therefore, I don't really want uncastable creatures like Grizzlebrand. Like, I don't want any of the... Let me rephrase. The only uncastable I'm okay with is Emrakul. Because odds are I'm never going to make enough land drops to cast him, right? I mean, like, 1, 2, 3, 4... I don't think it's going to happen. Well, if we had all of our lands and none of them got wastelanded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13... 14, 15, 16. If you had like literally every land out and a Lumberjack you could feasibly hardcast by Living Wish. This deck can't really play fair, says Irish. Well, Vintage is a different format. We might be wasting our time. We might totally be wasting our time because this is typically a Vintage strategy, and you don't use Fauna Shaman. You use Survival of the Fittest. We get mowed over by Stoneforge or Delver. You guys are making me all sorts of not wanting to brew it. I mean, I think we'll can it for tonight. Plus, my roommate's going to bed in half an hour, and I don't think that's enough time to do the deck justice. Yeah, I mean, it's a worse survival. Lands like Tabernacle. You guys like Wish better than the, If we turn it into a Wish deck, it looks different. Instead of faunas, it's, what would it look like? I mean, I like Living Wish. The deck looks really different if you do that. Don't get me wrong, I like Living Wish. It also means I don't have to buy something as bad as Fauna Shaman. At least that many. Glittering Wish says trees. I don't think it's a Glittering Wish deck. It could be a Living Wish.